I've lost count how many times I overdosed over the years of my struggle with substance use disorder, and not once did that shake me enough that I could stop. I always wanted to stop. I desperately wanted out of it. I never wanted to be there, but I just couldn't. I am a husband. I am a father. I am a nurse. I am someone you know. My name is Bill Kinkle. I grew up in Philadelphia, raised in a normal blue-collar family in the city. When I got out of high school, I developed a real passion for medicine and a real passion for caring for sick people. I became a paramedic at 19 years old. I ultimately started to work in an emergency department in Philadelphia, and I went back to school and became a registered nurse. And I found myself one night working in the ICU and went home with some opioids in my pocket, some IV opioid medication. I remember sitting in my house feeling very lonely and depressed, disconnected, and decided, well, let me give that a shot and see what happens. What was really enticing for me was it neutralized my emotions, that I was no longer sad, and so that quickly turned into an everyday habit for me. And then within about a month, that turned into seeking out street heroin for me. And then within about 6 months, I'd lost everything. I ended up in a recovery house in Philly. That's when I met my current wife, and we became sudden foster parents, and then about 4 months later got pregnant with twins. That 9 months that my wife was pregnant, I spent an enormous amount of time with this boy and fell completely in love with this little guy. Over the year, I began to become more and more afraid that he was going to be reunified with his parents, and that I was going to lose him. And so that triggered a relapse for me. I went into treatment 16 times over an 18-month period. 15 out of those 16, I never made it more than 3 hours outside of treatment before I used again. What ultimately got me into recovery was I entered this recovery house, and in this recovery house, I developed a really close friendship with the guy that was running the house. But through his actions, I knew that this guy cared about me in a way that I hadn't felt cared for. And as time went on, I found that the desire to use drugs seemed to fade away. And now coming home and just enjoying the sheer joy of being a dad and being able to do all the really goofy things that dads get to do, that keeps me in sustained recovery. At the end of the day, that really is the safety net. The best part of recovery is just being able to enjoy the simple things in life. I'm not an anomaly. As a nurse who struggled with substance use disorder, it's actually more common than people think. When I talk about pain and recovery, I don't talk about the days that I've been abstinent from drugs or even abstinence at all. For me, it really boils down to a very simple thing of, am I happy in my life? And that's what recovery looks like for me.